And hello, welcome back to the Gay Racing Podcast. Zack and Alex are back with you to talk about NASCAR at Las Vegas, Formula One at the United States Grand Prix at COTA. We got a lot to talk about today. Well, do we?
Not as much as last week.
Not really. Yeah, I just said that. I was on autopilot when I said that. Just like how Joey Logano is just on autopilot to go to the Championship 4 in even number
an
years.
even year.
Who would have seen this coming?
Well,
why is everyone shocked?
Zach, we have been talking about that all year. We're
Including
like, yeah, Joey
last
Logano, before he was in the playoffs, he got that win in Nashville. We were like, well, it's an even number year, though. And
he's going to make it to the Final Four.
They'll figure it out. You cannot count Joey Logano out.
I'm not trying to float my goat or anything, but like last week, I'm literally on here being like, yeah, Logano's going to be in the Final Four.
You were saying he was going to win.
Yes, I said he's probably going to win one of these next 3 races. And even you were like, what? Dude.
But I also said that it wouldn't surprise me too much if he did.
Surprised everyone else, apparently. Or maybe they're just salty and mad. I don't know. What a weird... It's just like every time Joey Logano does this is the 4th time he's like won the first race in the round of 8, by the way, to get to the Championship 4. This is the playbook. This is the perfect Penske playoff playbook. Like,
and 2 of those times he went on to win the championship, mind you.
Yes.
And then the other time is when he got taken out by Kenseth.
This is just
probably going to win the championship that year.
Right. He was going to win 2015 Martinsville. I forgot. This is just something that 22 team does. It's not, and Paul Wolfe is one of the greatest crew chiefs in the last, generation. He made a bold call yesterday to, you know what? Not only is this probably going to get us a better finish, because he was running up front all day, like top 10. But, it's the round of 8. Honestly, you can't point your way in, especially if you're Logano without a lot of playoff points.
Logano did not have that many playoff points. He only had that one win and just was kind of mediocre all year. He didn't have the regular season points, but they needed a win, I think, to advance, and that's exactly what they did. Even without the win, they were having a solid run while others were running in the 30s.
I mean, this doesn't always happen, but like look at last year where 3 playoff guys won the 3 races in the round. That only leaves 1 spot in on points. I mean, and that's kind of why I love this round. You have to win. This is where you show that you're going to win, to show that you are going to contend for a championship. And yes, sure, he's 15th in the whatever stat you want to look at. I get that. I feel you. I feel you. Yes, his body of work is not championship level, but this 22 teams, Team Penske specifically, as they have shown, they have the plan for these playoffs padded down. It is perfect. The perfect Penske playoff playbook. That's what I'm going to call it.
And Zach, getting to the Championship 4 is not an easy feat. Joey Logano now has the most Championship 4 appearances of any driver with 6.
That's impressive.
And I think down the road, if NASCAR keeps this format, Championship 4 appearances are going to be something that you go along with championships, wins. It's going to be a stat.
God,
right?
I hate how that is, though, because I agree with you, and I just hate that.
I don't mind it personally because it takes a lot of effort to get there. It's really hard to get to the round of 8, and then you have to get to the Championship 4. I'm not arguing about the playoffs today because in my opinion,
know. I'm
Logano,
not trying to. I'm just...
I'm talking Logano earned his way into this round, even if it was 15th regular points. That's not the format we're under. I'm sorry, everyone. He made it to the round of 8. Yeah, Alex Bowman got disqualified, but the car was not legal.
I don't get why people are still mad about that.
The car wasn't legal.
The car was illegal. It's because it was Hendrick.
Logano was the next one to get in.
It's all the Hendrick fanboys. All the Hendrick fanboys are upset that one of their cars got DQ'd.
And the thing that's most impressive to me, I think, is that Joey Logano's going for his 3rd Cup Series championship, right? And
Huge.
even if it's been a kind of mediocre season, they still have made the most of it. They're going all the way into the Championship 4. And you can say maybe if they win the championship, it's kind of a fluke. Sure. But I find it hard to argue against that they didn't earn it because it's still really difficult with as little points as they had this whole playoff, they still managed to make it to the round of 8. Even if it took someone else just being disqualified, they were the next best. They got in, and now they performed when it mattered most.
Yeah. My thing with, like you say, a third championship. Name NASCAR drivers with 3 championships. You got the Petty, Earnhardt, Johnson. You got Jeff Gordon. Who else? Like what? Cale Yarborough? Like Tony? I guess Tony Stewart. Like there's not a lot of 3-time champions. Yep. Like that's pretty. And to do that in this format, maybe we're getting ahead of ourselves. Maybe we're not. I don't know. I feel like I'm watching what we just watched in 2022. You know,
well, and the times he won the championship, he was never really been the best guy all year. So if he did win it again, then okay.
I mean, you don't have to. Blaney wasn't the best guy all year last year either. I mean, it's just not the world we live in. Which, but I was also again very impressed yesterday because it's not like he was slow. That wasn't luck. That was a smart strategy call that was executed perfectly.
Yep.
Actually, it was executed perfectly. Like, so you kind of have to commend them for that. And it was kind of bold too, because there was also some risk involved with it. Like if they would have ran out of fuel, or even if they just were going to have to back their pace down a lot, and maybe, they miscalculated how much they were going to have to back up their pace. But I don't know. Again, that's just what that 22 team does. And again, it's Paul Wolf too. Like Paul Wolf made that really bold call. He's definitely, he won the championship with Brad. I guess he also won the championship with Joey that one time in 2022. So he knows what he's doing too.
Yeah.
So,
well, Team Penske as a whole knows what they're doing with this format. They're going for 3 championships in a row in the Cup Series,
and they're looking pretty good.
And I think the thing people need to realize is that they've basically taken the Jimmy Johnson playbook of the 2010s and they've applied it to this current format. They're the first team that has really figured out how this format works. You really only need to make it to the round of 8, win in there in the championship 4. It's not an easy task to the round of 8, as I've said, but that's what they've done the past 2 years, and with Logano 22 as well. So that's all it really takes. But you still have to earn your way there, and that's why I don't mind this format as much.
But because you still have to you can't just wait.
Right time.
You can't just wait until week 33 to show up. Like they've been there. I mean, and Joey, to be fair, if Joey didn't get hate crimed at Richmond, that would be his 4th win of the year, 2nd most in the season. Like let's not discount. Yeah, sure, Nashville was a little bit Mickey Mouse, but come on, y'all, it's NASCAR. Like honestly, unless it's a Kyle Larson ass whooping, a lot of wins these days feel like Mickey Mouse. I'm not gonna lie. So I don't even like calling wins Mickey Mouse anymore.
And again, this was not an overtime fiasco like Nashville was. It was strategy, which was so refreshing. I loved the finish of this race. It was so fun to watch. So fun to watch unfold. Christopher Bell was coming up on the new tires. He didn't have to worry about fuel while Logano was trying to save fuel on the older tires. So fun. He had to work his way through the lap traffic. He got around Daniel Suarez, who was on the same strategy. Like fuel strategy in my NASCAR race in 2024, kind of crazy.
It's been happening a lot lately, though. Like at Kansas, not strategy.
At the finish.
But we saw flip strategies at Kansas, though. Like we've been seeing a lot of flip strategy races where it's the fastest guy, who in this case it was Christopher Bell, gets put on the worst strategy because that's just how it is. Because a caution comes out at just the right time, and track position, even at a track like Las Vegas, is so important that if you can, make passes on strategy instead of relying it being on the track, that, they're going to do that. I just noticed we've had a lot of strategy races this year. Just some don't end with it because of.
And thankfully, this one didn't have overtime. The last caution was when Ty Gibbs spun. And by the way, Denny Hamlin was also on the same strategy as Joey Logano. He was running 22nd all day. You mentioned earlier Logano had speed. Denny Hamlin did not have speed all day. He was running 22nd.
That's he started top 10. He dropped a little bit, but it was his pit crew. Remember? Like,
Even though he lost spots because of that, which is true, he never really improved after that.
well, that's
He kind of
because
just
they
stayed
kept.
where he was.
Well, that's because then. So yeah, they lost track position, and then to get back their track position, they put him on 2 tires, and I think that's what you're talking about. When he was running in the back, I think he was at a major tire disadvantage because he had 2 old left side tires, which I don't know. I mean, that's the. I think that's the thing with the 11 team. I think they got a little bit panic mode when they didn't have track position and they did something kind of risky. Because when that restart happened, he was the last guy on 2 tires. So he got swarmed by all the fresh tire guys. Like, it just didn't work. So I don't think that was I think his speed is all right. Because
I don't know. I think he was the slowest of all the 8 guys.
No. Well, I mean, okay.
Of the 8?
I guess. The 8. I don't know.
So for him to finish 8th after running 22nd, no matter how you look at it, is a huge improvement.
Well, there's different ways to look at it, as I outlined, but okay.
You're just defending him because you picked him for fantasy.
I'm not defending. No, because he got me the point. I have no reason to defend him anymore. I have no reason. Like, I'm serious though. Like, that he had a decent car yesterday. Like, his pit crew messed up a lot.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyways,
Larson's pit crew messed up, and Larson was able to recover quite a bit because when Larson got his lap back after the Ty Gibbs incident, he came back to finish 11th. He would have been finishing like 30th.
That's worse than Denny. What are you talking about? What?
Denny ran 22nd all day, while Larson ran 32nd all day. Once he got his lap back, he got up to 11th.
Yes. Okay. They both had not ideal days and finished not where they should have.
The difference was Denny had to get up there on strategy while the 5 recovered on speed, is what I'm saying. The 11 did not have speed.
Okay. Fair enough. I guess.
Larson actually gained points to the cut line, by the way. He gained 2 points compared to how he came in. So I think that's a solid day for the 5 despite everything.
Yeah.
But I want to talk about Christopher Bell. He did dominate the race and comes up short.
He reminds me of like who dominates races but doesn't win them. Oh, it's Christopher Bell, but like who did that like 10 years ago? Well, he's like Kyle Larson from like 10 years ago. Like,
except like Bell has a few more wins since then. But I know what you're saying.
Yeah. And man, dominates another race. Like, he had the fastest car at Kansas, but he took himself out of that one. And here, and it's got to be frustrating. And you sent me that little video of Christopher just being like so frustrated on the radio when he crossed the line. Like, I don't even remember what he said, but he was like cussing and stuff. And it's like, people might be like, why is he mad? He finished second. But I get it. Because when you think about it, I mean, he hasn't won since New Hampshire. Like, that was in the summer.
And that was kind of a long time ago. So many times.
He should have won so many races. And he's been in contention for so many races. And he had that literally in the bag. He ran a perfect race, if you think about it.
Yeah.
They didn't have really any other options. Like, hindsight's 2020. You can't just say, oh, he should have just, went on that strategy too. He should have pitted during that caution and saved fuel. Well, if you're the leader, you can't save fuel like that. The 20 did not have that option. So they did everything right and they still lost. And, are things looking fine for them? Yeah. But this is the playoffs, dude. If Reddick wins next week and then if like Elliott wins Martinsville, all of a sudden it's him versus Kyle Larson for that final spot. Like, that's why you can't just rely on points. If you're relying on points, you're asking yourself to get eliminated.
Yep. And you were mentioned Bell, like he was really frustrated.
Yeah, I get the frustration. That's what I was trying to say.
I was also saying it's a post-race interview. He just kind of seemed really frustrated and just kind of like, just kind of speechless. Didn't really know what to say and didn't know how to process what just happened.
I like it. Yeah, I'm glad he's frustrated. I'm glad he cares.
It shows he's passionate and he's serious about this. And
he's very serious about this because he knows like getting into the Final Four is not a given. Yeah. Even though people are penciling him in, he knows it's not a given. And I love that mentality.
Yeah, I feel like we haven't necessarily seen that kind of passion from Bell before. Like he's always been passionate about trying to win, but not to this level. I think being in the championship for the last 2 years has probably fired him up, knowing that he can get there. It's just he has to get there again and seal the deal.
I think it's almost he almost feels the pressure, like because he mentioned that iconic thing he said in the Netflix show, like no one really expected me to be here. I think now he's aware that people expect him to now be here. I think I don't know if he feels the pressure or if that's a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's actually he is the championship favorite. Low key, he won at Phoenix earlier this year. I mean, he is the championship favorite. Getting to the Final Four is the only thing in his way. So I get the frustration 100%.
And you're right. I mean, if he's in a points battle with Kyle Larson, let's say Reddick and Elliott were to win like you gave in your hypothetical, who would win in that scenario? I mean, Larson has more of those bonus points from earlier in the season, even though I think Bell has more points right now. We'll get to the playoff points here in a minute. But Larson overall does have more of those playoff points from the regular season to lean back on.
Yep.
So now let's talk about Tyler Reddick and Chase Elliott, what actually happened to them in this race. Because interesting crash that happened. Reddick, Elliott, and Martin Truex Jr. were 3 wide coming off of turn 4. Truex says he didn't know they were 3 wide,
Obviously.
which I find interesting. Is he just checked out, or was it a spotter?
It makes sense. I listened to Denny's podcast, and he explained how it's really easy for something like that to happen. Because when you're coming off the corner, because they were 2 wide through most of the corner, but then Reddick came to the outside very late, and it happened too quick for the spotters to alert everyone involved, I guess. And it's also like with race cars coming off the corner, it's hard to make them turn left more. And Denny described this weird arrow situation where it made the 9 and the 19 even more tight because they were side by side. But basically it's because everyone's coming off the corner. They all need the same real estate. It's 3 wide. It happens. From what Denny made it sound like, Reddick probably could have backed off and not been that aggressive, but it's a restart. It's the playoffs.
Reddick had a huge run on the outside.
He just won the first stage.
Into 4.
He wants to get back up front. I get the aggression, and that's Tyler Reddick. So, but it costed him. So I can't really sit here and be like, I can't blame Tyler Reddick for being aggressive because he kind of wrecked himself. Low key. And that's not exactly what that 45 team needs to be doing.
Yeah, well, this was a pretty crazy crash. As you said, Reddick did win stage 1, so kind of kept him with some points there, a little point buffer like he had at the Roval. But Reddick ended up flipping on the front stretch grass, and Chase Elliott got pretty heavy damage as well. I think Elliott finished 30 some laps down. Yeah. Reddick got taken out of the race because of this incident. And Zach, you and I were debating or discussing during the race about the reason Reddick flipped was seemingly because of the little Legends track they have on the tri-oval. And I was like, why do they even have that anyway? And you got really mad. So I'd like to give you an opportunity to defend the Legends track thing that Charlotte and Vegas and all that.
I am very prepared to come on here and defend it, except apparently they have not used that in 10 years.
Well, there you go. Case closed. Let's get rid of it.
Okay, but listen. It's not like he went in the air. He didn't go up into the air. He just did a little tumble.
It took him out of the race, but you could probably
put better than every time Ryan Blaney gets wrecked and he's hitting into the wall at 200 miles per hour. I just, oh my God, every time a car flips, it's just this big deal.
No, I know.
That was not that violent of a wreck. Leave the Legends Oval alone. Even if people don't use it, it still looks cute. It looks cute.
The reason that I'm why do we have that? Especially, it hasn't been used in a decade.
I think ones at Texas are used, though. I don't know.
It's because with Reddick, he probably would have just spun, right? And he could have been able to continue potentially.
I don't know. I don't know. That's not a guarantee with this car. I don't know. Alex.
I know. So flips happen in the grass, whatever. We've heard that argument many times before, but I feel like that little track, it just kind of caused whatever. It's not that big of a deal in my opinion either, but it's just kind of that seems a little avoidable, but
Yeah.
it reminded me of when, I don't know if it was from the track, I think it was from a drain, when Timothy Peters had a flip at, I think, Texas a couple years ago in the Truck Series. And it also reminded me of Chris Buescher's flip in the 600.
Yeah.
And I think both of those were from drains, if I remember right. And this was from the track.
Yeah.
So
I think
interesting.
I wish more tracks had the AstroTurf like Charlotte. And even
Yeah.
if Charlotte still has a Legends Oval, I don't know if that, and well, Charlotte also has that little chicane from the Roval part, but I know they removed the curb, so it's not that bad. But I don't know. I don't think they should dig up the Legends Ovals just because of one little situation that can happen that's just resulting in a race car that's just a little bit more wrecked.
I will say that this flip was really like shocking. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, it was shocking.
I was like yelling at my TV. Like I was not expecting a flip from that. You know,
it's one of those flips where I'm like,
it was a big moment.
I was kind of like, this is cool. Because it wasn't that dangerous of a flip. Like it was just a little flip.
This, like, everyone, is the average NASCAR fan. Oh my gosh, that wreck was really cool, you guys. Yay, let's keep it.
Well, I was showing my sister like the flip. I'm like, oh my God, they just flipped in NASCAR. Like low key. I'm just saying, I'm glad Tyler's okay. So cute, but like I don't know.
So cute. He just crashed, guys. So cute.
He looked really hot getting out of the car.
He did.
He's kind of in his slight era.
He is. I like Tyler.
I like Tyler.
Okay. You mentioned Ryan Blaney. He keeps hitting the wall at large amounts.
He keeps just wrecking.
He crashed in practice. He had a blown tire. In the race, he was saying he was asking for Advil, that his head was killing him. He had a really bad headache. He had toe link damage in the race. That happened from the Reddick Elliott crash. It happened under that caution.
Did. I guess he got caught up in it somehow. I never actually saw what happened.
I never saw a replay of that. Yeah. If you know what happened, let us know in the YouTube comments.
I'm going to look on Twitter real quick.
But yeah, Blaney just had a awful day. That derailed him. And
he started in the back too, and then he took 2 tires at the same time that Denny took 2 tires, right? I think so.
Don't remember, but yeah, Blaney's day kind of just ended because of that.
I remember we made a joke that well, no, I have not found it. Wait, is this it? No, that's from the Brickyard, dude. Twitter, it's so hard to find anything on Twitter, so yeah, I'm not gonna find anything.
Oh well, but let's pull up the playoff points to kind of show you how Blaney, Reddick, and Elliott were impacted by those incidents we just talked about.
Yeah, sorry. I was like, so Blaney spun like also on the caution lap. I think that was after he already had damage, by the way.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, is this the right one? I'm trying to make sure I don't pull up the F1 picture because I don't want to look at that now, or I'm just going to get irrationally angry. Let's make it cute. There we are. All right. The playoff standings, and it's low-key not exciting.
Well, we'll talk about it. It might get exciting, but as I was saying here, Reddick's -30, Blaney's -47, Chase Elliott -53. And then if you go up that, I mentioned Denny Hamlin had a pretty good recovery after his slow race, Zack. Finished P8, -27. But then if you go to the other side, the 4 that are currently in, Logano's locked in. Then you have Bell +42, Larson +35, and Byron +27. Here's the thing.
What's the thing, Alex? I've been dying to know what the thing is.
One of the guys on the right side of the graphic could win, and that would change everything because that would knock Byron down, and Larson would only be like, what, +8?
That's true. I didn't think about that. I actually didn't realize. Then
that's the thing. See,
that's my point about this whole thing is because like really everyone is in a must win. I feel like
low key.
You know what I mean? Like everyone's in a must win because there are no guarantees. There's only so many spots. Like that's why I love the round of 8. So
going into Homestead, right? You could look at Bell, Larson, Reddick probably as the favorites, right?
Yeah.
So if Reddick goes in there and wins, and we've talked about this, we don't know if he can beat a Larson there right now. But if he were to, that puts Larson right there, Byron out, and Bell like +8 like
Or
15
Blaney.
or something.
Blaney
Yeah.
and Reddick finished top 3 there last year. Like just
Yeah.
Hamlin's won there before. I mean, yeah, any of them could win, honestly.
Right.
Like, so yes, this is very far from over and being penciled in. With that said, I still honestly think that what we have here is what's going to happen. I think we get the same Final Four from last year, except it's trading Blaney for Logano.
Penske car.
That's what I'm thinking it's gonna look like, because I think Denny's clocked out. I just don't like that 11 team anymore since he was so slow at Las Vegas.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
No, I didn't say he was the best car, Alex. I just said he had a fast car. He just wasn't the best. Oh my god,
you just contradicted yourself.
He also just like never really had an opportunity to have clean air with. Well, yeah, he never had clean air. So I don't know, dude. Anyways, God, Tyler Reddick could. I mean, we saw what he did in Xfinity at Homestead those years, and he's just really good there in Cup. Like, he could just do anything. Blaney, I don't know. Blaney can finish a race. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
And he can't finish a race, dude. Like, oh my God. Chase, though, I'm not feeling Chase. I think Blaney could win Martinsville. Reddick, I think Reddick's playoffs are going to be over on Sunday. I think either he wins, or if he doesn't win, it's not going to be looking good.
I agree.
So
I think Reddick needs to win Homestead.
If I had to pick 4, I'm going with the 4 on the left. And if Reddick wins, then I'm taking Byron out.
Yeah.
So.
I think I agree with that. And yeah, I think that's everything we have to say about NASCAR, actually. Pretty crazy. I will say shout out to Alex Bowman. He had another solid run despite his disqualification after the Roval.
And Daniel Suarez. 1 week
Daniel
too late.
Suarez had a good run. Yeah.
Strategy still, but still. I mean, we'll take those.
Joe Log back in the championship 4. And Zach, now we're going to talk about the United States Grand Prix at the Circuit of the Americas for Formula One. I tried watching both NASCAR and F1, but I totally tuned F1 out after a while. I watched the first lap.
Start was crazy.
Yeah, the start was kind of crazy.
Lando and Max were having a measuring contest going into turn 1, and Charles had the longer time on the throttle.
Yeah. That's exactly what you mean. Yeah.
That's exactly what I meant. Yeah. So Charles had the longest time on the throttle because he won the race. Yeah.
I love when Chuck Leclerc wins races.
Ferrari won too.
Yeah.
And that's the first time. Oh, what did I hear? Wasn't it the first time Ferrari was 1-2 in the US since 2006 or something? Maybe 2005.
Maybe 7? I don't know.
Might have been 2005 when the tire thing happened.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I don't know. But good for them. I like Charles. So
me too.
It's cool.
As the F1 social media accounts put, he's flawless. They put out a graphic that said flawless Charles Leclerc. So true.
Dude, wait, Lawless Allen. We got to call him Flawless Allen. Wait, Lawless Allen needs to have a daughter and her name needs to be Flawless. That would be amazing.
Cute. Lawless, if you're listening, we gave you an idea. But Zach, the real drama from this F1 race is when Lando Norris and Max Verstappen were fighting for third. I was paying attention at this point. This was a long battle too, going on for quite a bit.
Yeah. And
Verstappen was ahead, Lando was behind, and had DRS for quite a while. And eventually Lando did get by him, but that was after Verstappen seemingly crowded him off the racetrack. And Lando finished the pass, but then would you like to explain the rest? What happened?
No, because it pisses me off. I'm sorry. It pisses me off. And how dare you pass in Formula One? I saw, what was his name? Mark Urban on Twitter today. He's like, why is there a huge debate every time a car tries to pass another car in F1?
No, for real, though, actually.
And that is a very valid criticism.
Yeah.
Of whatever the hell is happening in this series. Because Max is literally running Lando off the track to where Max is also off the track. So I don't know exactly how you're supposed to police this. If you're able to just run a guy off the track to defend your position and there's nothing they can do, I don't exactly know if that is what you want in your racing series.
Right.
And also here's the thing too, because Lando was trying to cross Max over for like laps. He was trying to cross Max over. Coda, unfortunately, has this design in it where like literally every single corner, if you try to cross over, like in that last section, at least in the stadium section, if you try to go cross over, the next corner is set up for the guy who's defending. Like as soon as Lando tried to cross over, well, Max has the advantage in the next corner anyways. It's just one of those little annoying things about that section of the track. Not Coda's fault. It's just, Lando was running out of options and he was running out of time. So he was going to send it up on the outside, cut off Max's exit, except Max just runs him off the track. So then the debate shifted to whoever's ahead at the apex. And I don't know if that matters. In racing, I don't like whoever is in front of the what do you feel about that? Because I don't know if that really makes sense to my NASCAR brain. Whoever's ahead of the apex.
See, that's what I'm wondering, if we're just NASCAR pilled, and it's just like we primarily followed NASCAR growing up, so it's just like, are we just kind of thinking like this is fine? Because in NASCAR, they go way off the track anyway as their like designated route. See, like this, when I look at this picture, so we have a picture up for our audio people of the Verstappen Lando incident in the apex. If you look at this picture, you can tell Verstappen's just not.
He has no intentions of making the corner. And you know why he got to the apex first? Because he had no intentions of making the exit.
And we've seen
why he got to the apex first.
Verstappen has done this dozens of times.
A lot. Every time he's in a wheel-to-wheel battle.
It's frustrating. Like it's exciting at times, sure, but it's also just like it's not really fair. And then for him to not like, I feel like Zack and NASCAR, at Daytona Talladega, they have that rule: if you push someone out of bounds, the person who does that gets a penalty. Why is that not the case here? It's different, obviously, but I feel like that would be in play.
Because like imagine if instead of it was the edge of the track, imagine if that was a wall. Then if Max does that, Max is shoving Lando into the wall, like keep cutting his exit off. He's also wrecking himself into the wall technically. So maybe that's not a good argument. Like there's got to be a better way to officiate this. Like should Lando then just get free reign to go off the track just because Max shoved him off the track? I get why that might be a problem too. Because I mean, in general, this is how a lot of F1 drivers race nowadays because, well, it's allowed, apparently. And because I definitely don't want to just say it's just Max, but he's kind of the poster child for it. And I saw a tweet today. Someone said that they think F1 drivers just lack so much wheel-to-wheel experience just because of how F1 is. And I'm like, that makes sense, doesn't it? Like compared to NASCAR drivers who are always side by side on restarts, or IndyCar even. Like, that's something to look into. I don't know. There's got to be a better way than so what happened? Lando, for anyone that doesn't know, Lando passed Max, gets the 5-second penalty after the fact. I agree with the take that Lando should have given it back. Because I think if you think about it, yes, that you're not supposed to overtake off the track. Probably should have given that back and just passed him again. Kind of would have been similar to what happened at Abu Dhabi, or not Abu Dhabi, Saudi Arabia, like 2021, like where Max is like trying to give it back, but then he like does a switch over like on Lewis. And then like that one time where Max like just about brake checked Lewis. So I don't know. I'm very frustrated with this. And this is not the kind of racing I want to watch where you can just shove someone off the track and then you get rewarded for it. They get penalized for it, for trying to pass you.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's like, because there's no, what is Lando supposed to do here? I just don't, he's got to have an option. And so
I don't think there's much else to add on to that on my end.
I hope they look at it. but it's F1. I don't know what goes into all that. I kind of regret watching F1 yesterday. I'm not gonna lie, because that frustrated me.
I'm glad I had it on. The first lap was interesting. I like Charles.
I mean, maybe I'm a little biased because I want Lando to catch Max in the standings. So this could just be biased.
That's probably it. I really don't care who wins that championship.
I got so frustrated.
The T, Zach.
Here's that wasn't the T?
No.
Yeah, I've never been pissed off before the T before.
Let's go into the T because Martin Truex Jr. is seemingly going to run his 2017 Bass Pro Shop scheme sometime this season, probably either this weekend and it'll be announced like tomorrow or something, or it'll be for Phoenix. This was spotted in the JGR shop by Grizzly1133 on Twitter.
I always like that scheme because it
Me too.
looked different than the rest of the Bass Pro schemes he's won. He's run, Jesus. Because it had that white number on like mostly orange siding, like side color. So it was unique. I liked it.
So yeah, I'm glad they're going to do that. I wonder if it'll be Homestead or Phoenix. Part of me wants it to be Homestead, like Budweiser came back for Harvick.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But we'll see what they end up doing. If it's Homestead, it'll be announced probably tomorrow. Our next thing is interesting because it's kind of a follow-up to a story we had last week. So last week, we told you that Jenna Fryer reported or posted on social media that the Fox IndyCar booth was Alan Bestwick, James Hinchcliffe, and Townsend Bell. James Hinchcliffe has denied this on his podcast. He basically used the Alex Palou quote that was used in the McLaren contract drama, saying that he never said such a thing. Then he doesn't know what he's doing next year right now.
Well, Jenna Fryer knows what he's doing, apparently. When Jenna said her booth lineup in the tweet, I was like, is that what she wants, or is that like an actual report? I was a little uneasy about the tweet. I was like, I don't know if this is her being serious.
And this is what I told you. In Jenna Fryer's defense, she was the first person to report the Alex Palou thing, and everyone's like, well, why are you lying? Stop reporting fake stories. And then a week later it was confirmed or something. And then Palou denied it, that happened, or was announced without his permission. So maybe Hinch just playing on that. It was announced without his permission. I'm sure we'll find out sooner rather than later who Fox is having in the booth. I would love for that to be accurate, especially the Alan Bestwick part. Yeah. James Hinchcliffe staying would be fantastic as well.
Yeah.
It is interesting, though, that James would directly deny it.
Wasn't James at F1 this weekend?
He was.
Yeah. I saw that. And other American motorsport personalities.
That we don't talk about anymore.
Oh, God. That we don't talk about. That's funny.
Speak of strong open wheel woman drivers, let's talk about Hailie Deegan. Because Hailie Deegan is moving to the Indy Next Series next year with HMD Motorsports. They feel like
she's
half
following
the Indy Next
in
cars.
Her footsteps.
She who shall not be named footsteps.
Or her lizard prints. She's following in her lizard prints.
Oh God. That's not right. No. We're gonna.
I feel like Wendy Williams right now. Oh my God.
In all seriousness, this is really cool that Hailie Deegan is going to Indy Next. She hasn't had much success in NASCAR. She won that 1K and N race a couple years ago. I think it was a dirt race.
I'm fine with her changing. I don't know if we ever really talked about her changing disciplines. Stock car racing, especially, with how the top level is with the next gen car. That's what she's looking forward to in her future. The next gen car, I get wanting to change disciplines, especially when where her family does so much wild stuff in motorsports, rallycross and stuff. Sure, do Indy. I think that's a great
she's run sprint cars.
Yeah,
dirt
so
racing.
That's more her thing anyways.
Yeah, so more of an open wheel kind of thing might suit her more. Maybe I'm not sure, and
We'll find out.
I am curious to see how she'll go. I think, she'll have a fan base with her wherever she goes. I'm sure she has more social media followers by a lot than Indy Next itself does.
I wonder. Yeah, that's true.
That's going to be huge for that series. And mind you, if you do want to watch Hailie Deegan in Indy next year, it's going to be on FS1 and FS2 next year. So it's not going to just be on Peacock only. So a lot more people will be able to watch it, which is really cool. Yeah.
I'm trying to check how many ovals they have on the schedule for the Indy Next series. Because do you think she's going to be really strong on the ovals since she has experience? Like Jimmy Johnson-esque? Like,
I saw that there was a test and she improved like with every lap she did. It's just a matter of how long is that process going to take, because Jamie Chadwick came from open wheel cars and she never really got super fast. She did win an Indy Next race in her defense, but she was never like dominating or anything. People kind of thought she would. And by the way, Jamie Chadwick does not have a ride for next year. She has said she's looking for an IndyCar ride, but I don't know if there's any seats available. But yeah.
Yeah. So there's 4 ovals on the Indy Next calendar for 14 races. So I'm just thinking like she'll have a slight advantage. I don't know. Yeah. Like experience wise, I don't know.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll get some women role models in racing who are not like the one we were referring to earlier, because I think it'd be awesome for Hailie Deegan to be successful. It'd be fantastic.
Especially
for Jamie Chadwick. Be fantastic. Yeah, and there's some
coming up the ranks, like Isabella Robusto, and
there's a Jade Avedizian,
and then Tony. I don't know if Tony
Breidinger. Yeah, it's like there are some women names. It would be great for several of them, all of them, to have a lot of success. So hopefully we get to see that in the near future, and maybe Deegan is part of that. And now, Zach, it's time for NASCAR fantasy. We're doing Homestead. God. You got 1 point.
This is why my stomach's
you did not trust your gut.
I thought about that's funny. I thought about picking Logano. Like last week before the show, I was like, maybe it's 2022 all over again. He just goes and wins. I thought about picking him. I really did. But then I was like, oh, let me trust the stats. Oh, Logano's at the bottom of my list. I'm not going to pick him.
I do want to say, Zach, I'm going to give Slay of the Week to you because you are doing this on a upset tummy. It's all because you didn't pick Joey last week, though. I understand.
Don't patronize me.
I mean,
competition.
You could have lost. You could have got 2 more points, but
I know.
But you have a 1 point advantage over me. It's 22. Joey Logano drives a 22 car. It's 22 to 21.
That means I'm winning. Wait, that means whoever wins is going to be at the magic number 24. No, I don't think that's mathematically possible. Or is it? If I win the next 2, or if I get okay, that is mathematically possible. Never mind. I'll shut up now.
All right, you ready?
No.
We're making picks for NASCAR at Las Vegas.
I hope you're not seeing my screen. I always get nervous that you see my screen of like whoever I'm typing.
If that ever happens, I need everyone in the YouTube comments to not be snitches and just let me
be snitches. Yeah, because I just won't go look back.
I ain't gonna say anything. Zach don't even remember what he said a week ago.
Oh my god. There we go.
All right,
this looks better.
Let's do it.
Something. All right, ready?
Yep.
All right, 3, 2, 1. I'm trying to pick Kyle Larson. Okay, it's Homestead. Yeah.
We both picked Kyle Larson.
All right, got to get my next white man.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that means I'm not picking Bubba, I guess.
Let's see.
I actually did think about Bubba low-key. Didn't he win the poll? He won the poll here last year. Not picking him, though. He has energy, though. Like, if this was like 20... I made a tweet about this. If this is like 2010... Bubba Wallace has that energy of like he's just going to win the Homestead finale while Jimmy Johnson is like cruising in 4th place. He has that kind of energy this year.
I'm ready.
I'm ready to. 3, 2, 1. Oh, not the damn computer picture. I should have got the other picture. Damn it.
Yeah, I know.
I don't get creative. How do you find? I'm not. I just searched on Google. I'm not doing all that work to find one.
I went to Twitter to find that one.
Of course, you went to Twitter.
I love that picture of Bell. It's a picture of Bell at his laptop or whatever. It's so funny.
What is that from, by the way? Because that looks like an old picture.
I saw it on Twitter. Someone used it as a reaction picture, and now I just use it all the time. It's hilarious.
Well, he looks like he's like 13 in that picture. Like, not really 13, but like he has like acne on his face and stuff. I'm like, what? Who is this? Oh my god.
All right. Well, I got my next pick.
I also have my next pick. Are you ready?
Yep.
All right, 3, 2, 1. I'm trying to pick Tyler Reddick, and Alex, please don't be trying to pick Tyler.
We did the same thing. We both picked Tyler Reddick, and we both used pictures where Tyler is upside down.
That is evil. This has to go on TikTok. This is bad. We were just saying how cute Tyler Reddick is, and what do we?
We don't even use a picture of him. We're just like, yeah, he's flipping.
We are so disrespectful. This is so disrespectful. So we picked.
Okay.
I mean, I picked those 3 guys because I'm like, well, these are the 3 guys that know how to run the wall.
Yeah.
Now I got to go to my notepad. Uh-oh. Oh, there's mine. Okay, I was like, where's my notes? I was like, panicked Larry McReynolds. Okay. All right, I am ready.
Ooh.
Come on, Alex.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right. 3, 2, 1. I'm trying to pick William Byron, and Alex is picking Alex Bowman.
Yes. Yes,
I
sir.
didn't expect you to go Bowman this soon.
I did think about Byron. That might be the better choice. But
It is.
Bowman's running really good right now.
Oh, he's running really good?
Yeah.
Oh, probably because he's 17 pounds too light. Probably why he's running really good.
He's cheating? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, he's cheating. He's too skinny. Yeah. Okay.
Well, he's going to throw his Homestead trophy into the swimming pool because it doesn't get him to the championship 4.
I just feel really good about what just happened. So,
well, good for you.
I'm going to win this championship. Call me. Who's got the most swagger in the garage area right now? I don't know if it is Joey Logano, but like who knows that they're going to go win this championship?
Oh, well, Denny always thinks he does. So I guess Denny.
Yeah, but he's delusional. Denny Hamlin delusional. Denny delusion.
This is going to be a great TikTok in a few weeks when
he's
lose,
all in delusional. That's what he's all in delusion.
That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
Sounds like someone else I know, right?
Yeah, right. Anyways, I already know who's going to win. I got to make space for another championship flag in this room, so I don't know.
Fair enough.
How are you feeling about Blaney, by the way? Let's real talk. Now that the show's almost over, we got to talk. How are you feeling?
Real talk
about Blaney? Because I thought my problems were bad yesterday when Larson had to come pit for the little piece of aluminum. And then everyone wrecked. And I was like, oh, my problems aren't that bad.
Yeah. So as a Blaney fan, I'm kind of like, I'm just going with the motions, right? Because Blaney won the championship a year ago. What are you doing? You're like,
I'm listening. I'm listening. Do you want me to not listen? Do you want me to shake my desk instead? Like,
no, don't do that either. No. If Blaney doesn't advance, that's fine. Like, he won the championship. That's kind of all I wanted. Now I'm kind of satisfied with whatever.
This is a great championship format, NASCAR. The fans don't care who wins the championship. That's great.
The vibe for Blaney has not been there this year, but it was there a year ago. And that's fine. I mean, if he makes the championship 4, I don't think he's going to win it. Like last year, the vibe was just there. It's not there this year for him.
Okay. We need Brooke on because I want to tell Brooke that Roger is just trading the master plan between Joey and Ryan, and that's going to be the plan.
Wait, when you think about it that way, the master plan was just all along. Bowman's going to disqualify. It's fine.
It's going to give. I mean, Ryan is recharging
for next year.
Next year.
What if Ryan makes an odd year trend and Joey does even years?
That's why Ryan had to lock in.
That's the master plan.
Roger was like, honey, we need the odd years too. Joey is only doing the even years. So Ryan, we need you to do your best on the odd years.
We've cracked the code.
So if we have to make sacrifices for you in the even years, that is okay.
That's why Blaney was blocking for Logano like crazy and just pushing him and everything.
Well, that made sense anyways, because like Blaney, I mean, to be fair though, that was cool yesterday, seeing him push Logano down the straightaway. Like, what else is Blaney supposed to get out of that race? Like, yes, he's technically competing against Logano, but like at that point, Blaney's probably gonna have to win to get in anyways. So he's not actually competing against Logano on points. Like,
and then Roger gets on the radio to Ryan. He's like, remember the master plan. Remember it.
I'd be cool to see both Blaney and Logano in there. There's a chance. Cool. I mean, if Blaney can go to Martinsville and win again.
2020, Keselowski and Logano were both in the Final Four.
Yep. I think that's the only time Penske's been like that. Yeah. But I don't know. Right now it's looking kind of like 2018 where it's like we get the same Final Four that we had last year. It's just a swap of Penske cars. So, but yeah, that's it. So we are to Homestead next week. It's the final time Homestead's in the round of 8. It's kind of sad.
Silly. I hope eventually it goes back to the championship finale.
I'm ready for it to go back to the finale. It's such a perfect track. And it's like, I love how you have to have skill to be fast there. Like, you have to run close to the wall.
Yep.
Like, it gets a little boring sometimes, but like, I don't know. I just think that's cool.
It's just pure racing at Homestead.
Yeah.
It's great.
I feel like it's still a little bit hard to pass because like, well, you have to do a slide job, which Homestead actually does lend itself. Yeah, never mind.
Well, it's multi-groove, kind of like Kansas and Darlington.
Yeah, it's just the top. So I feel like when the top is too dominant, it's just like it gets too hard to pass.
I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Homestead. It's like Bristol.
Yeah.
But I'm talking. I'm yapping. Anyways.
Well, let's stop the yapping and wrap up the show, Zach. We have a kind comment.
And start the rapping.
We have a kind comment from Nike Visor 54
again.
Yes, again.
I recognize the username. This must be our number one fan. Move over, Dylan McCollum. We have a new number one fan. Oh my god!
You got to step up, Dylan.
Come on, Dylan.
Nike Visor 54, referring to what we said last week. We were joking that we should have a Patreon shirtless tier. I forget what the context was.
I was wearing a Hendrick shirt. And then Then we were making a bit about Alex Bowman getting DQ'd. So I took the Hendrick shirt off. Well, I didn't actually. Everyone's clicking to that video now to see some dreamy Zack chest.
Nike Visor 54 said, waiting for the shirtless Patreon tier to drop. We'll also accept a GRP hot tub edition.
I am so down to do a hot tub episode.
Dude, that'd be so fun.
And like we just talk about like anything.
Yeah. Like, you and I can yap about anything. We can just yap about Mario Kart, Nintendo, racing. We can debate about the playoffs. You know, like we could just, or other things, like who knows? Politics. I'd rather not do that.
I'd rather not.
Like, we agree on everything, but it's also like, I don't want to talk about that anymore.
I don't want to talk about that anymore. No,
but dude,
that's okay.
We should like actually go to a hotel, get a hot tub, and we just record it. Like, we could totally do it. I'm down.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Put it on Patreon.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Patreon people, we do want to do more for you guys. So thank you to everyone who does, you know.
I know. I feel bad.
We were
plans I have not done yet.
The new Mario Party just came out, and we were like, what if we recorded ourselves playing a game? So you might get like Mario Party game just for us chit chatting. I don't know. We have ideas. We want to do more next year. But thank you for the support on Patreon. Patreon.com/GayRacingPod. If you'd like to support us, you can rate us 5 stars on Apple and Spotify. Please leave a written 5-star review on Apple. That helps a lot as well. Like and subscribe on YouTube. We're getting really close to 400 on YouTube. TikTok, we're way past 500 now. We're actually chasing 600 over there. We're growing on TikTok.
That's
Hopefully they don't ban that app in a few months.
That would suck.
And then you can follow us on socials everywhere at Gay Racing Pod, at Dreamy Zack Racing, and at Newgaden. I'm trying to use Blue Sky more. Zach is on there. He talks about video games on there, but
Yeah, I should probably make my motorsports account on Blue Sky. I'm ready to move to Blue Sky.
yeah,
I'm
like,
ready.
I'm on Threads. I'm on all those, but like,
All right, I'm not going to Threads.
none of them are taken
not-
off. So
I'm not going to Threads. I think Blue Sky has a legit shot.
It's
Threads is too Instagram-y. Like, it's just not.
It is Instagram. It's not even
That's the
Instagram-y.
problem.
It is Instagram. Yeah.
That's the problem. Threads, like, they had their one moment. Remember, Threads had that one moment, but then they just didn't.
Yeah.
They didn't
It
execute
launched too
'cause the
soon.
app,
They didn't
the
have
app
enough
wasn't ready.
stuff.
Like, don't
Yeah.
launch your app if it's not ready. Oh my god, I hate when they do that.
But
Anyways,
if you're sick of Twitter, we are on other places, so you'll find us.
I love how
With that-
the guy I replied
Yeah.
to yesterday got mad that I replied to him. I saw
Yeah.
that you defended me. Like, I'm sorry I engaged with you on a social media app. My bad.
It's like go on, make your account private. What?
I'm trying to have a debate with you. Like, oh my god. Anyways,
Well,
next
everyone-
week we got Homestead, and I think that's just it. I don't know if F1's back. I honestly don't care. I don't want to watch it anymore.
I have no idea.
I don't know.
But yeah, we'll talk about Homestead next week. We're wrapping up the NASCAR season. We're getting closer to the off season. Kind of
I'm
crazy.
excited about that. I want a little bit of a break. So
Yeah, kind of getting
Alright.
burnt out a little bit.
a little bit. Yeah. All right. We'll see y'all next week. Bye.
Bye.